What we do is we offer a limited menu of products, but we feel like we do them better than anybody else. Our service delivery is top quality. All of our people that you're primarily going to deal with are in South Florida, and all the same people from the legacy company before Crown acquired FPL FiberNet. Are you familiar with FPL FiberNet? Have you guys heard of FPL FiberNet? Show of hands. So Crown Castle acquired FPL FiberNet at the end of 2016. And along the timeline, you'll see that we've got Sunesis, we've got FiberNet Direct, which is what FPL FiberNet was known as at the time, a company called Wilcom, and the larger acquisition, Light Tower. So we have network all throughout Florida, very dense in your area, especially the Tri-County area. This county, Palm Beach, Broward, Treasure Coast, and Miami-Dade, huge density, because that's our native footprint, right? But we do also have network in the Northeast, all the way up the eastern seaboard through the Mid-Atlantic, Midwest, and in California, Texas, and in some other areas, a little bit in Oklahoma. But sort of if you look at the map and you go in the middle of the state or in the middle of the country, there's not a lot there. Not yet. Crown may acquire another company, but we also are investing strategically into a lot of markets, Tennessee, Atlanta, the Carolinas, to bring in more density to the major cities. And we're just making those investments as the strategic builds. So we're not waiting for pilot customers to do these things. We're building into the main data centers like Xterra and others. We have 75,000 route miles of fiber in this country throughout the U.S. We're in almost all of the data centers in the territories and markets that we are strong in. So we're a true national company. You can ask us to quote anywhere in the country, and we enjoy doing those, by the way. But primarily for the folks here, we are lit in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of buildings. And in fact, on that thumb drive I mentioned earlier, there's a list that you can sort. It's just an Excel. But if you look at it, you'll see a tremendous amount of density. So here's a little bit of our fiber net. 75,000 miles of fiber, 32,000 on-net buildings, 900 connected data centers, POPs, and COs. We have very strong arrangements with the other carriers for the national network. So our SLAs are super strong. We really stand behind, our network. So as I mentioned earlier, we offer dark fiber, Ethernet services, wavelengths, private networks, internet, which is probably about 90% of the requests I receive from folks in the room. Colo, we offer Cloud Connect that was mentioned earlier. We offer a direct connection to AWS, to Azure, to Google Cloud, to IBM SoftLayer. It's like a point-to-point, except there's a direct connection in there where you don't have to get a cross-connect. Long-haul services and others like optical encryption, DDoS, distributed denial of service protection, and video transport. So we run the gamut of networking products that can service your customers for just about any situation, and we also can customize solutions and work really with the direct with your customers. If there's a complex situation and you need some different help, we can bring in engineers, we can meet them at the customer site. So we can act like a regular enterprise rep, and I'm happy to go out to appointments with you and do any of those things, provide you whatever resources that it is you require to be able to work with Crown and introduce us to your customers. Some local maps here. You can see all through the Tri-County area and up through the Treasure Coast, and even on the other side in Naples, Cape Coral, Bonita Springs. Got quite a bit of network in Florida. Even closer. The whole Tri-County area has hundreds and hundreds. It's probably our densest area of fiber in the country. So if you're selling anything in South Florida, please definitely give Crown a crack at it. We may not be a right fit for every customer. We may not always be on net at all those customers, but I'll guarantee you that we're very close by if we're not already there. Another map of the Miami territory for you folks down south. Tremendous footprint. Our corporate offices for Florida are located in Miami. Our network operations center is also located close by in Miami as well. So really convenient for you. Orlando footprint. St. Petersburg.
Is that all on the thumb drive?
Yeah. There's a slide in there. It's just maps, and it has all of the ones throughout the nation. I just picked a few select ones for this area because that's the interested party probably. Probably don't want to see a bunch in California. Tampa, Jax. Okay, so this is generally how our network operates. Maybe Guillermo, you want to maybe chime in here? Guillermo, you want to help me out with this? Want to talk us through this slide?
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is
Guillermo is one of our sales engineer, Guillermo Romero.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining me.
Absolutely. This is really just an attempt at kind of illustrating how complex you might want us to get, right? The reality of the matter is we build networks to suit. That's kind of what has really differentiated us going back to the FPL FiberNet days. But the reality of the matter is we can always combine anything with regards to layer 2, Flat Ethernet networks, IP connectivity, cloud connectivity, that is to existing cloud services, as well as, let's say, you know, real-time data replication between data centers over optical links, right? So we're in the business of transporting data. I would say that our network is multimedia tuned, so it's particularly friendly to voice, video, and latency-sensitive data applications. It has been from the beginning, just by the very sheer nature of the inception of the network, especially that of the network down here. It was designed with a specific customer in mind, FPL specifically, right? And then the larger carriers and municipalities. So the network is engineered to CIR. This environment doesn't oversubscribe, and it's generally yielded a far higher performing network. So as we look at how complex we can get, we can support highly strategic locations with diverse fiber connectivity, eliminating single contingency sort of conditions. We can integrate the cloud into a, let's say, a private wide area network, and then of course, you know, there's the things that'll come on the roadmap.
Perfect. So, just as far as our network is concerned, for our Ethernet and dedicated internet products, our network we can quote you anywhere between 10 megs and 10 gigs. In some area of the countries, we're bringing up 100 gigs as well for those services. There's a couple of new things that are coming. My contact information is on there, our sales engineering and client services manager, our NOC information as well. I'm not going to kill you with the rest of the PowerPoint here. There's probably not many slides. But what I did want to do is let you know that for 2020, Crown is introducing SD-WAN, a managed SD-WAN product where Crown will roll out the edge device. Crown will provide you the software and the portal and manage and maintain that whole white glove solution for you. So I realize there's a lot of carriers out there that do it as a service, but we're bringing in this to a new product for us. Not new really to the market, where I think we're a little bit of late on that, or a little bit late to the game on it. But Crown took its time to get its arms around it, choose the right partners for it, and really check all the boxes for what we think is going to be a great addition to our stable of products that we offer. Guillermo, you want to give them a little bit of?
You know, is everybody fairly familiar with just the concept of SD-WAN? Everybody, for the most part. So, you know, it was kind of tough, obviously, as you can imagine, getting into the market where that's already in play. As you can imagine, SD-WAN is a staple within our other customer space today, primarily because it works so well over the top of our Layer 2 and Layer 3 services. When we decided to get into it, obviously, generally, it followed the same kind of tone that all of the products did, which is we had enough customers requesting it from us, right? For us to start to actually making an attempt to try and offer it ourselves. This product will ultimately, and this decision was made primarily because the type of customers that we typically deal with have a fairly substantial IT group. So this product will have a couple of flavors where it's completely managed or co-managed. So that's going to be a function that's going to be rolled out going forward. It will work over top of both Ethernet and internet network. So there's a little bit of customization that's available to it. So as this becomes, let's say, a more common go-to-market, this is something that will be, ready to get engaged.
First version is going to be available in Q1, so a month away. The other nice thing is, to point out is that we're going to allow you to bring your own access. So if there are other carriers that are not Crown-based circuits, we will let you integrate those, although there are some rules surrounding it in terms of the mix on how much percentage of another carrier will allow against our own. It's really a 60-40 split, but just so you know, because not everybody's going to be serviceable by Crown, at least competitively, without huge build-outs in some areas. So if you got, a bunch of network here in Florida for 5 or 6 locations, and you got one in North Dakota, listen, we're not going to force you to build out there to be able to manage it. You bring in your own carrier for that, and we'll let you manage it using our portal in our box and through our SD-WAN product. So that's important. I've been getting a lot of requests for it. There seems to be high interest. I know it's hugely competitive. So, but we're dipping our toe into it. We feel like we've got the right solution and the right partners to do it. The other nice thing is, and I don't have any slides about it. There's no information. It's just there's a lot of sparseness out there that I don't have access to. Maybe Guillermo does, but I don't. Is we're introducing bandwidth on demand for our DIA, dedicated internet products, and our Ethernet products. So like other competitors will allow you to burst your traffic to port speeds, will allow you to do the same thing. There's a scheduler for it, so you can turn it up and turn it down. It's going to have its own portal for it. So that's a product that I know that some of our competitors have had for a few years out there, but it's something that we get a lot of requests for. We also have a 3 times bursting fixed product for our DIA, which is where if you have a 100 meg circuit, we'll allow you to burst to 300 megs, but that price is fixed. It's not billing at you at a 95th percentile of usage, where an on-demand type of strategy is that. So we'll have 2 unique ways. We'll allow you to burst to port speeds. So if you're on a gig, you can go to 10 gig. If you're on a 10 gig box, and if you're at 100 megs, we'll allow you to burst to a gig because the port speed is a gig. So there's that flexibility now that we weren't able to offer you in the past, but now it's coming for 2020. It's going to be available in the first quarter as well. There are some other interesting things like fixed wireless that are coming down the pipe, I think in the first half of the year, maybe Q3. So look out for Crown. We really, are striving to be one of the better tier 1 companies out there. We really feel like we have the right team, the right personnel, the right network, the right financials. Our stock performs really well. We're, a NASDAQ listed company. And we've got all the right tools in place. We just need, I think some of the transitional things like people not knowing FPL is now Crown, at least for the Florida perspective, sort of hindered us a little bit, but hopefully this helps you to understand that Crown can definitely help you with all of your networking needs at a tier 1 carrier, locally based and locally represented here in Florida. Thanks very much, everybody.